Hey guys, it's Clovis, and today we're going to be talking about insects. Now, do you guys really wanted commentary? A few people have asked in the past few months to do more commentary, and I've also noticed one of the more popular types tends to be insects, actually, which did surprise me initially. I knew, like, the more popular type would be like dragons. Everyone loves dragons, right? But insects are actually... When I look at all the views of the videos, insects are up there with dragons, so apparently you guys really like insects, so I thought I would do insects because I actually quite like them as well. So what I'm going to be doing is basically talking about the insects for a little bit, and then I'm going to be making an insect deck and also be teaching you guys like how to get the cards and stuff like that. So these are insects that are really low deck cost down here, the petite moth, caterpillar, and larvae moth. There's also a couple other like worm creatures. Needleworm's one of them, and I think there's also, yeah, acid crawler. If you look at their special info, you can equip them with Cocoon of Evolution to make the Larva of Moth, which you can't acquire the Larva of Moth, but I do have it here because I have cheats. And this is obviously the card that when you upgrade it, it turns into Pupa of Moth, and then you upgrade that, you play it face up in defense and wait X amount of turns, and then you can bring out some of the strongest monsters in the game. Not just the strongest insects in the game, but legitimately, Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth is one of the highest attack cards in the game. So, considering the deck cost of Cocoon of Evolution is only 5, and you have, say, 3 of them max in a deck, and then you have, say, 3 caterpillars, that's 11 deck cost each time, and if you're successful in summoning it, it brings out a card that has 70 deck cost, if not, of course, 56. The Great Moth obviously isn't as good as a Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. There's no reason to deliberately play the Great Moth apart from having it in your library. If you go find the insects, wherever they are, I think they're just before... Yeah, here they are. So, yeah, if you want to max out your library, you'll have to deliberately play the Great Moth by letting the enemy destroy the card that turns into it. Otherwise... you just go ahead and play the Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. So, 3500 attack, pretty good. If that's on Forest, it's 4000. Yeah, so you can take on pretty much any card except a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So, pretty good. But obviously, you can't acquire those cards without cheats. Just remember that, guys. Javelin Beetle is the same. You can't acquire it without cheats. This requires a ritual, which you can get off of Weevil. Which a lot of the cards, a lot of the insects you can get off of him, by the way. Because, yeah, everyone knows he's the insect dude. This is a pretty cool card. You know those rituals mostly have, like, bonus points added in battles against a certain type of monster? This has 600 against dragons. So, a Javelin Beetle, just with its effect, without any equips or terrain bonus or anything, can beat a Blue Eyes White Dragon, as long as that doesn't have any equips or anything on it. So that's pretty nice. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty good, actually. It's more powerful than any other obtainable card you can play out of your hand for the insects, so it's still up there with, you know, these better ones. Arsenal Bug is a Destiny Draw card. Now, a few people have asked me, how do you Destiny Draw Arsenal Bug? You have to meet certain requirements, I believe, so... if you look at the leader effect, it only has this massive, you know, 1500 bonus if you're a deck leader as an insect. So, one requirement you have to meet is that your deck leader is an insect, because the whole point of the Destiny Draw is to give you cards that it thinks you needs. So, it will never give you Arsenal Bug if you don't have an insect as your deck leader, so go ahead and set an insect as your deck leader. Did I just say deck leader? Jesus. Deck leader, guys. Deck leader, not deck leader. You don't wanna get involved with that. Anywho, so... level up like a Hercules Beetle or Quagga Hercules, I recommend, because if you look at their leader abilities quickly here, you have increased strength for same type friendlies, which caps out at 5, so you want a level 5 deck leader. But don't have it too high a rank. If you have Secretary of Defense on your deck leader, it'll keep giving you cards like Ryoku and Mirror Force like it normally does. You want to have it to about maybe the Colonel rank, so that's like 1 yellow stripe and 3 stars. It's the same rank as the Darkness Ruler, if you remember him, so go have a look at his deck lead and you'll see it. It's like the 6th rank out of 12, which is... you can probably get that within about an hour or so if you use my ranking method, which is... if you look on my channel, you'll find it's one of the most viewed videos I have. Anywho, Hercules Beetle, Quagga Hercules, Dungeon Worm. Dungeon Worm you can acquire as well with 3 in a row. Maybe reincarnation, I can't fully remember, but there is a password for it. In the description, by the way, you'll find all the passwords of, sorry, what was I gonna say? You'll find, yeah, all the insect passwords. Jiraigumo is another 3-in-a-row card. This card is really, really good, guys. Four summoning stars for 2200 attack is just nuts. And if you put an equip or 2 on this, it can take on anything. You put 2 equips on this and it can kill a Blue Eyes as long as it's on not on Mountain. Purely because this card also cancels the enemy's attack increases or decreases. So in saying that, because it cancels decreases as well, you don't really want to use too many damage reduction traps or any form of damage reduction otherwise you would use, because then this would actually, Jiraigumo would get rid of it. This is actually, the way you really want to use Jiraigumo is actually to counter power-ups and stuff, because it would just debuff the enemy's power-ups, which is really, really good. Interestingly enough, it's 33 deck cost because it has 2 effects, and one of the effects is actually detrimental. If you look at the movement, it decreases your LP by 100 points for each space moved. But there's some interesting things you can do with that. I'm not actually 100% sure if Goblin Fan works with it. I could give it a try, but I'll put it in my deck if I remember to do it, and if it doesn't work, well, it doesn't work. But you can just add cards like Goblin Secret Remedy and stuff to counter that, so it's not really a big deal. And then all these insect cards here, the ones you can obtain, not Pupa of Moth or Lava of Moth, but like all these ones, you can get from Weevil. Just duel him over and over again and he'll always play cards like those ones. Gale Dogra, just use the password for it. It's like a mini Great Moth. Its effect is the same as the Great Moth and Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, but it's like this little bug with wings. It's got like a stinger on him. I don't really know what you would call that type of bug. It's pretty interesting. And of course, more random things. Even Man-Eater Bug you can get from Weevil. Man-Eater Bug, you guys all know what this card is, right? You know, when you flip it up, it destroys the enemy monster. Awesome effect. Awesome effect. And then, yeah, stuff like Korogashi you can actually find in a few starter decks as well. And then, yeah, more stuff you can get off of Weevil. Petite Moth and Caterpillar. Actually, you can find in 2 or 3, maybe even more starter decks you can find them in. Like the Fairy King Truesdale one and the Patrician of Darkness one. You should be able to find both of these in, I think. So if you do that, just pick the Red Rose slide and dual Weevil, and you can get some Cocoon of Evolution. So why don't we go ahead and start actually constructing an insect deck here. I'm just going to quickly check the time so I can stamp it. Alright, 8 minutes in. Now that we're 8 minutes in, let's go ahead and construct our insect deck. So I'm going to go all the way down. I usually have type sort here just so I can see all the insects, and then if you hold select you can sort again. I do deck cost sort, so I can go all the way down to the bottom and see my best cards. I'm not going to put these in because you guys won't be able to put them in without cheats, so I'm not going to do them right now. As much as I'd love to, I would love to put, you know, Javelin Beetle and Great Moth and Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth in my deck, so Arsenal Bug and Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth kind of OP, but we're just going to use the cards we can actually obtain here. And Quagga Hercules is actually one of my favourite insects. I remember using it a lot as a kid, so I'm going to put that as my deck leader. And then start putting... I'm going to put 2 of each card in. Maybe 3 Jiraigumo just to demonstrate that card. It's really cool. Giant Flea is really nice. 4 stars for 1500 attack is not too bad. I know it doesn't really compare to Jiraigumo, but nothing really compares to Jiraigumo. Giant Flea, however, is really good for 4 stars in the insect deck. As you notice, the rest of these are kind of like lower attack. So in that case, for those monsters, you probably want to have a lower summoning level. Kumatuko and defense would be nice. Bladefly is a useful card, but if you don't have wind cards, you don't really want to use it, so I'm not going to include it in my deck. Gale Dogra, I'm just going to skip it for now, because we're going to be playing the Cocoon of Evolution. Man-Eater Bug, can't go wrong with them. Korogashi as well. And then, yeah, add in our low deck cost moths. The little bug things. And we can't forget, of course, the first thing I would do after adding in the monsters I want is Cocoon of Evolution, 3 of them. Because why not? So let's look at how many monsters we have in the deck. We have 28, which I think is too many. So let's go ahead and gut the deck a little bit. We get rid of some weaker stuff. I guess. Remember, 6 of the cards are for the Cocoon of Evolution Fusion, so we still want to have a bit of generosity with it. So we have 24 monsters in the deck. Now what do? Of course we go straight to our power-ups. That's what I do straight away. As soon as I've done, put all the monsters in my deck, because then I can obviously figure out, you want to add like 7 power-ups I would put in. You have to make sure that like whatever power-up you're going to draw is going to be applicable to whatever monster you draw. Otherwise you'll end up drawing stuff you won't be able to use, and it's going to slow things down. So I'm going to look for the insect equips here. 3 laser cannon armor, 3 insect armor with laser cannon. Yep, pretty much the same card, right? But it allows you to use 6 of it in your deck. They're like identical and pretty much the same, so yeah. Like, I mean, in relation to the name and picture, they're like, yeah, pretty much the same. And then if you look through all your other cards, you'll notice they're all Earth, so you could add an Invigoration, but quickly look at the power-up cards and see how many you can put Horn of Light on. A few of them, so we could just put a Horn of Light in the deck. If you don't know how to get it and you want to, just remind me in the comments. I can give you the password for it if you don't know where to find it. Otherwise, you can get it in the Thunder Nyan Nyan starter deck. That gives you a Horn of Light, which is pretty awesome. I really like this card. It's cool. So now you've got your 7-ish equips. You just fill the rest of your deck with what you think you need. So the most important thing in the game, apart from power-ups in terms of bonuses, is the terrain bonus. So definitely give yourself some forest. And then think about what else your deck needs, guys. So if we're going to play Cocoon of Evolution, we want to slow the enemy down a little bit. So a few infinite dismissal to spellbind the enemy that tries to approach us. And if we go down here, you can just keep putting paralyzing potions towards them that will permanently stun their monsters that walk into it. And the AI can't really react to that, so yeah. You look at our deck cost and it looks pretty low, but our deck is actually quite OP. You'll find. So let's go ahead and, you know, we may as well just duel the hardest opponents in the game. Otherwise, the game might be a bit too easy. This guy's always fun. Again, we won't get Arsenal Bug because our deck leader is too high. But imagine if we got it for some miracle if we got it. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's just play aggressive. And we can just put a forest in the middle of the field. You notice a lot of Chakra, Manawi, and Fabulous monsters are fiends, so this will reduce the power by 500 in addition to actually increasing ours, which is, you know, the main point of it. But now, yeah, the damage is pretty ludicrous on our cards. You can see 3200 attack Draguma without equips. So if he doesn't play Ryoku, I mean, even if he does, it's like, we're just going to dispel it anyways. And the more we reduce our own life points, yeah, see, he couldn't even, the monster he played there, his attack wasn't even high enough to take on a Jiraigumo without any equips, so we just attack him directly. The enemy AI sucking does kind of ruin the experience when trying to demonstrate things, but it's not a big deal. He's going to take our summoning power, but it doesn't really matter. We're just going to move forward and see if we can play. Cool. Nice power increase, man. Nice power increase. And seeing as we're showing off insects, why don't we go ahead and show the attack animation for this dude. Should get a little pose from him as well once the death animation's over. I will admit that effect was not that impressive. I wonder why I didn't move. Well, that's Duelists of the Roses AI for you. So let's see if we can get Megamorph or something. I don't know. If you notice, insects don't have the extra slot reel, so we're probably not going to be getting anything here. Yeah. That was pretty bad. I wonder if it's even worth dueling anyone else at this rate, because the enemy in this game is really stupid, and it does take away from the experience, doesn't it? Let's do this guy. What I can actually do, I guess, is demonstrate the Cocoon of Evolution, if I manage to draw any of them. Because I didn't really get a chance to last time, didn't I? I just drew everything else. Oops. I really hate when the camera's off in this game. So let's set it back to normal, shall we? Ooh. Bully him into that corner. Classic strategy. Alright. And of course we get Paralyzing Potion. We just get absolutely owned by this guy. But of course, it's not really a big deal. We have 5 summoning power and Quagga Hercules, so... And he's gonna attack it anyways, because he is... stupid. The AI is not as smart as you think, guys. Yep, go ahead and Swords of Revealing Light our, permanently stunned Quagga Hercules, why don't you? No, we're gonna get killed. What's going on, guys? This insect deck isn't really very good, is it? And of course, he's going to walk into our Jiragumo, which will dispel that bonus. Very powerful effect. Finally, we can actually play one of these things. So 5 turns, that'll become the Pupa of Moth, and then 1 more turn, it becomes the Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. So once you play that, I don't think you'll be able to really kill it. He's already used some of his strongest monsters, and if we hit Mirror Force, yeah, it won't kill that, because it's in defense mode, so... And let's not forget about this guy, Dungeon Worm. And I'm just gonna kill this Komori Dragon while it's here. I should have enabled battles for Jiragumo, show off that attack, but should be fine. Might be able to actually play another one. What I can do, though, is show you the attack animation for Dungeon Worm. Fire-breathing worm. Interesting. A lot of teeth and breathes fire. Kind of... Okay. So yeah, the enemy doesn't really give you a challenge in the game, especially considering it's 4,000 life points. Makes it way too easy to kill people. No hope there for getting 3 in a row. Alright, well, it's been 23 minutes, so that's probably long enough for a video like this. I just wanted to teach you guys a bit about insects, how to construct a deck, blah blah blah, shit like that. And I'll probably make another one of these soon, so stay tuned for that one. Catch you later.